Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Greensboro Downtown Yoga. I'm Summer with today's fun Core Warrior class. All week through classes, we're focusing on this idea of being bold through developing core integration so that we can work into arm balances. So today in this Core Warrior class, we're gonna really find the ways that we can use our limbs, so our legs and our arms, to integrate even deeper so that this whole center portion of our body can really be strong in our arm balances. We are gonna do 2 arm balances in today's practice, but don't worry, you don't have to do them if you don't want to. All right, you will need a resistance band and a block for today's practice. If you don't have them, no worries, you'll be okay. All right, we are going to start lying on our backs. You want to have your block and take your resistance band and place it around your legs. Okay? We're on our backs. Right here. Start off, let's just place our hands by our side. Arch your back so you get this really excessive arch. If we were standing, it would be lordosis. Tip your pelvis so you get this imprint of your spine. If you were standing, that would be a flat back. Let's do that again. Tip, back and forth. But you're finding pelvic movement. You're push out on the band so that your feet are in the floor, and you might notice, you can see even my legs a little bit are starting to wobble just to keep that band in place. Let's find a neutral spine. So that's going to be kind of this place where you've got a little bit of space, but it's not excessive. Then tip your pelvis, start from the bottom, roll yourself up, one vertebrae at a time, until you find this top position. Push out on the band, and then start at the top of your back and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Let's do that again. Start to focus on the breath. In thinking about integration, what does that word mean to you, right? To me, it's the idea of lots of things coming together. It's in that when we say core integration, arm integration, leg integration, it's about how we can use all the muscles of that area to support us. But we can't forget about our breath. Today I seem to be in very teacher mode. And that I want you to get all this education. And I think it's great. I'm going to try to keep it in that balance. I don't know if it's because my mind thinks, oh, school semester would be starting soon. As a former professor, that side of me will never go away. Let's do one more. Keep up at the top. Now, you're going to get this little press out on your hips. With your knees on that resistance band. Your hips are as high as they can be. Let's lift our arms up to the sky. Now press down with your big toe and your little toe. Did you notice how an arch just formed in your foot? And you got even deeper work into your hips. Oh my goodness, if you're like me, your booty is starting to feel this. And it feels like, oh my goodness. That's boldness, right? Hold out. Lower yourself down, one vertebrae at a time. Arms open out, legs open out. Press into this band. Now you're going to let your knees fall to one side. If you've done any Core Warrior classes with me, you know I love this move because it's really about how we can find middle of the body working to support us. Shoulders must stay connected to the ground as we come back to center. You've got this resistance band around your legs, yes? And you have to keep your legs engaged at that spot. As you come back to center with this great big exhale, close your legs in. Inhale now. Extend your legs out. Bend your knees and come back to center. Do it again. Knees, legs, bend, center. Legs, extend, bend, center. Now here, you have that flat back when you come back to center. That's gonna protect our lower back. So in this place, it's good to have that imprint. Last one. Bring your legs back to center. Bring your legs so they are still right here. You're gonna lower down from the hip. Your toes touch and then come right back up. So you're gonna lower down, touch, and come back up. It's just this little like prick of water, like, ooh, that's cold. And you come back up. Make sure that you're not excessively arching your back, that neutral pelvis is pressing down and you actually find imprint. Last one. Push. Come up. Take your block. You're going to take the block, the band off your foot, and your block is going to come in between your inner thighs. Okay? Now push, bring your feet down to the ground. Push into that block. I want you to feel like you get this like scoop up and around. Lift your hips to the sky. Now your inner thighs should feel that. And come back down. This push in and around is going to become really important in our arm balance. Because when we're going to do crow, when you feel that, it's exactly what the arms and legs pressing into each other feels like. So do two more. Squeeze your butt. One more. Come back down. Take the block, place it onto your thighs. Your legs lift to tabletop. Now your legs are together. Take your hands, place them on the block, and push into the block. Notice my elbows. Watch what they do. As I push, I start to pull my elbows into the side of my body. What that does is if I were sitting up tall, it would look like this. I push. Do you notice how my back just lengthened and I got that squeeze between my shoulder blades? That's what it's doing. So same thing. Hands press in. Pull the elbows in. Now press into the block with your thighs. Your hands push into the block. Your thighs push into the block. And you should all of a sudden feel this like, oh my goodness, every muscle in my body, especially in that core, is fired. Release. Take the block. Place your left elbow on the block and the block on your right thigh. Extend the opposite leg to the floor, and this opposite arm is going to come to the side. Now press your elbow in and your thigh in as you lift your body up. Pull the knee in and out. In and out. You've got to find that press of your elbow and your thigh into each other. It's this really amazing spot where you're like, oh dear goodness, I have activated every muscle in my body. Yes, especially the wrapping ones. One more. Come back down. But if you just passively do it and you're like, then you don't really feel anything. That's what integration is. Integration is about activating, or as we sometimes call it, building that tension. So elbow, press in, thigh, press in, arm out to the side, and then extend the leg out and in. I'm trying to stop using the word tension because I feel like it has a negative connotation around it in terms of like negative tension, and instead use the word activation. So we activate into our entire body. Two more. Last one. Come into center. Bring your feet flat to the floor. Extend your arms and legs long. Feel this long reach. Now, one vertebrae at a time. Roll yourself up. Pilates roll up. If you're not familiar with this, let's place our feet on the floor. You're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. And then you keep your feet flat on the floor and roll up. You might need to grab your legs, you might need to use your elbows. But if you are used to this move, let's tuck and roll down. Your chin tucks. You get that really deep movement. Lift it. Do it 2 more times. Right here. Center of the body, super tight. It's not about doing 1,000 crunches to get core activation. It's about having intention. And that's what we learn through something like this, where every single vertebrae touches the ground with purpose. With control, we come back up, one vertebrae at a time. Sit up. Take your block and your band. You're going to place the band back around your legs. And it's going to hang out there for a little while, so get it comfortable. You're going to be here on all fours. Press your hands into the mat. Activate up. So we have this palm arch. Bottom of hand, all 5 fingers. Press in, and we get this little lift. Now, you are in long line. Press in. Lift your right leg out to the side, and then come back in. Notice nothing in my body moved other than the fact that I'm lifting and lowering a leg. If you're finding that you start to sink into that side hip, which is super common in something like this, that means that we're letting go of the activation in the middle of our body. We also let go of our activated arms, our integrated arms. Hold this down. Take the same leg, reach it behind you. Opposite arm reaches forward, and you want to touch the floor. You're going to lift it together and lower. Lift and lower. Now it's as if I had a string pulling my arm and my leg in opposite directions. That's how I get the center of my body to be the movement. And we breathe.
Before I sleep, hear the crickets. Side by side.
One more. Beautiful. Come back in. Give yourself a moment to roll into cat and to arch into cat. Oh, it feels lovely. Come into all fours. Opposite leg reaches out to the side and back in. Now, if you notice, there's a lot of stabilization in our leg that's on the mat still. The leg going out to the side, is it working? Oh my goodness, yes. But if we are leaning into that side hip, we're letting go. Breathe. Remember, our breath is part of the integration. One more. Bring our leg back in, extend it behind us. Hand comes to the floor. Now lift and lower. Press into that integrated hand. Rotate the bicep forward. You should feel this upper back really, really engaged. As you feel the loop out of your fingers, Really allow the movement to come through your entire body, from finger to toe. Full body integration to engage our center. Bring our hand and foot back and roll into cat. Arch into cow. Realign your block right in front of you. Bring your hands onto the outside of your block. Step your feet back to plank. Now you've got this band and mine just totally rolled, so I'm going to fix that. Sometimes they do that. A lot of times it's as they're getting older. They need to be replaced. They start to roll. Could be pants. It could be the fact that you let go of it. Then, there we go. All right. So our hands are on the outside of the block. Push into the block. Okay? Push in. What did you notice? That upper back, head to engage. Yes? Absolutely. Your elbows are in line with your wrists. Press your heels to the back of the room. Feel the pressure out on the band. Now slide the block back an inch. Notice I didn't do anything other than just slide. Press into the block really deep. This is a plank. If you've always done a plank like this, you will find that right now you are shaking because you are truly core integrated. Every part of your body is there engaging. Ooh, and you may be like me, get a little sweat. Lower your knees, come back to all fours. Let's roll and look up. We're gonna come on to one side. Ooh, today's flying by. All right, extend your top leg. Your elbow and shoulder are stacked. Lift your hips. So now lift your top leg. Find this long reach from finger to toe. Feel that press out. Lengthen through your fingers. Lift up out of your side hip. Come back down. Let's switch sides. Ooh, I'm going to order me some new bands today. Extend your leg. Lift up. Where do I get them? On Amazon. Yep, I do. Lift my leg. Once I place my order, I'll put in what I ordered on the link so you can see. Lift up. Okay, so you feel that underlying belly, that oblique. The leg is lifted. You notice my bottom leg is shaking. Why? Because it's integrated. It's active. Lower down. Take yourself to a standing position. Feet are outside of our hips. I'm going to do this facing you. All right. Bend your knees in. Press out on the band. We're going to take a step to the right. And then the left. Step in. Step out. Step in. Now pay attention to your knees. Are they pushed out the entire time? But not so much that all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm in this weird position. No. Knees over center foot. Let's go back to the other side. We are working into those hips. Think about your abdominals. How can they brace? How can they support you? One more time, down and back. Because it's fun. Why not? Let's just do it. You're pressed out on that band, yes. Let's go. You're feeling those hips. Oh my goodness, yes. Last one. Now lean into your standing leg. So let's all lean onto your left leg. Lift your right leg out to the side and in. I'm going to do this from the side so you can see. Notice how I have this hinge meaning I'm pushing my hips back and I'm in this long line from head to toe. Yes? That means I'm not going to put too much pressure into my lower back. Standing leg is still bent. Oh, we feel this. One more. Foot comes down. Let's stand up for a moment. Bend our knees. Extend the other leg out. Bend, lift, and lower. So why are we doing all this hip work, right? Because I said the integrated core, and your core actually involves your abs, your obliques, your lower back, your hips, and all the muscles that line the spine, so your postural muscles. So it's really important that when we think about integrated core, that we get these limbs. One more. Let's release. Take the band off. You're going to place it around your wrist. We're going to step our right leg back. So you're in a lovely lunge or crescent position. Elbows are in by your side. You're going to press out, little tiny presses in. So notice I'm doing that fast and with intention. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step your foot in. Other leg steps back. Let's press and press. Great job, guys. You're starting to feel right here. There's rotator cuffs that support us. The space in between our back is fired. Step in. Roll your shoulders back. Now, reach your arms forward. Same thing. Press and press. Do you feel how you integrate the arms, the chest, the shoulders, the back? 4, 3, 1. Step in. Ooh, it's fun. I know. Little tiny muscles that are going to become so important here in a moment. Press.
They treat me like a son anywhere I go.
Last one, step in. All right, release that band. Thank goodness. Place the block right in front of you. Actually, place it at a high position. Stand all the way up. Big deep inhale. Oh, that feels lovely. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands onto the block. Exhale, step back into plank. Find this beautiful plank position. Integrate your arms. Palm arch. Rotate forward. Downward dog. Come forward to plank. Lower down so that your forehead touches the mat or the block. Back up and down. Come up or come forward. Lower down just a little bit. Press up and down. Why are we not going deep? Because instead of trying to get you to activate your chest, I'm getting you to think about that little tiny space between your shoulder blades. Even if you don't realize that's what I'm getting you to do. Now, come forward. Keep your arms straight. Now you're going to try, instead of trying to lower your forehead, you're going to try to lower your chest to the block. Is it going to touch? Heck no. Press up. Lower. Now maybe you want to drop to your knees for this. And that's great. What we're doing on standing, it looks like this. It's this squeeze. We call it a scap retraction push-up. One more. Now lift your hips. Come forward. Place the block down on its lowest level. Big deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands wrap around the block. Step back to plank. Down dog. Forward to plank. Lower down so your chest almost touches the block, and then lift up into a lifted up dog. Down dog. Let's do that again. Forward to plank. Are your arms active? Yes. Lower down. Right before you touch, squeeze and lift. It's that upper back. Yes. Down dog. 2 more times. Come forward. Lower down. Lift up. And back. Now, how can you use your abdominals? Right here. Pull in. Press your heels back. Lower. Keep that engagement as you lift. And then down dog. Walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, fold. Place the block off to the side. Roll yourself up. Big, deep inhale. Bend your knees, chair. Lift your heels. Lower yourself all the way down into this little tiny small ball. But do nothing other than enjoy small ball for a moment. Lift ourselves all the way back up. Push your heels together. Lower your heels, sit into chair. Now you know how I promised us 2 arm balances today. Here's our first one. Big deep inhale. Exhale, sit into chair. Lift our heels. Activate everything as you come down in small ball. Hands come in front of us. And you make this kind of like diamond shape with your thumb and pointer finger. Press your knees into your triceps and lean forward. Now, as you press your knees into your triceps push into your knees. All those different areas so that you can start to lift your feet off the floor to crow. Push in with the knees, push out with the arms. Pull in with those abdominals, lower the feet. Come to seated. Lovely. Sit up tall. Grab behind your legs. Roll back. Sit up. 3 times. Roll. And sit. 1 more. Now you're going to use the momentum to come all the way through to small ball. Lift ourselves all the way back up to the sky. Heels lower. Chair. Do you feel how in that crow, when you just went suck in, you felt everything? Let's try it 1 more time. Big deep inhale. Exhale, sit low into chair. Heels lift. Lower yourself down with control. Control, control. Transition forward. Find the hand placement. Integrate your arms by finding a palm arch. Boom. And then lift up. 1, 2. Toes try to touch each other. And when we do that, it truly gets that deep, deep, deep abdominal engagement. Challenge for you. Try to step or jump back to plank. Oh, it didn't happen for me today. That's okay. Lift up, down dog. Step your feet forward. Sit into chair. Here's how we're finishing. Sit low. You did your 2 arm balances, so they're done. Sit back. We're gonna sit tall. Roll back, rolling like a ball to boot. Tuck, roll, lift. Tuck, roll, lift. Now this is 1 roll. And I do it fairly often because it's a great core integrated move. But I want to do one now that's even harder. Roll onto your back. Elbows come up. If you remember this position from the very beginning of class, we find this activation into our arms. Look over your right shoulder and roll onto your side with control. Look over your opposite shoulder. Now, without pressing into the ground, use and squeeze those abdominals to come back to center. Let's go to the other side. What did you notice? You probably found that you started to collapse because you let go of that integration. But think about the wrapping of your thighs. Oh, the squeeze into that block. Let's actually do that. Take the block, squeeze into your thighs, hold, look over your shoulder. Now you're pressed into the block. You probably will find that to be so much harder because that is how you should really be doing it, but most of us let go of that. Oh. Look over the shoulder, roll to the side. This is called a fetal roll. And I'll be honest, I learned this after when I was recovering from a knee injury. Take the block out. Let's do it one more time each side without the block. I had knee surgery, and for 6 months I was in physical therapy I was getting nowhere. So I finally fired my physical therapist and started working with this movement specialist who was a trainer at my gym. And she had me do things like this fetal roll. And what we noticed is that I was not integrating my core. I was not finding that deep movement. Bring your feet back to the floor. Lift your hips up. And thus, my knee continued to hurt. Within 6 weeks of me working with her and doing lots of this core integrated stuff, I had no knee problems and I've had none since. Arms reach. Lower yourself up. So since that day, I have been very intentional about what does core integration truly mean and how can you make it even better, because I don't want to ever have another surgery. Done. Fantastic work today, guys. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of play with that limb integration to really dig deep into your core. And remembering the core is not just doing tons and tons of crunches. It truly is about having a focus on how your limbs, your arms and your legs integrate in with your breath to get center control. Until next time, guys, I'm Summer. Thank you. Bye.